Breaking news in the NFL today. We've got two things to talk about, two major things to talk about. Number one, Jamal Adams traded to the Seahawks. And number two, Dalvin Cook is going to report on time to camp. This is great news for those of you worried about Dalvin Cook showing up for 2020. Dalvin Cook's going to report. Let's get to it.
Top 5 running backs. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Yo, welcome to the show. Breaking news, Jamal Adams traded to the Seahawks. This is a huge deal. What a big move for the Seahawks. It looks like there's a first rounder in 2021, a third round pick in 2021, and a first round pick in 2022. Adams is one of the best in the league, and I think this is an amazing move for that defense in Seattle, who, I mean, you already had him ranked high, but man, exciting stuff to see him get a fresh start in a situation that I think will pay dividends for those of you in IDP leagues that own this guy. Now, what are your thoughts on this move for Seattle? How much more of a threat is Seattle now? They're already, I think, that sleeper team. I think they could potentially be a top 4, top 5 team in 2020. This is a big move for the Seahawks. The next piece of news is more important in my book because I am more offensive fantasy football minded. I do IDP, of course, but I think this news is the news we've all been waiting for. We've all expected Dalvin Cook to report. According to ESPN, Dalvin Cook told Coach Mike Zimmer that he will report to training camp, something we already knew because the collective bargaining agreement, just like it states right in front of your face, makes it very difficult for players to actually hold out. There's almost zero leverage at this point for players trying to hold out. They're fined literally, I believe it's like $50,000 per day that they don't show up. And that money cannot be rescinded later. That fine cannot be rescinded later. In the past, when a player like Dalvin Cook said, hey, I'm going to hold out, I'm not going to show up, and they'd have these fines that would accrue. They would basically, if they called the team's bluff and lost, they'd be like, look, I'm going to come back and wipe those fines clean, and we'll pretend this never happened. Teams always did it. Or if a player signed a big extension or contract, they would package all that in and say, what happened, don't worry about that. Not the case anymore. Literally, Dalvin Cook would be fined upwards of, I believe it's $50,000 per day that he'd missed, that he didn't report. He's not going to do that. So we kind of knew this was the case, but players like Lev Bell and Melvin Gordon have kind of made us worried a little bit because they don't always use logic. So there's that threat that Dalvin Cook could potentially maybe stand on principle alone and not worry about money. But now we know that he will be back for 2020. He's going to report to training camp on time. And Alexander Mattison just got a little bit more cheap in terms of where you have to snag this guy. He was already kind of climbing up ADP boards because people had that. Is he this year's Tony Pollard? Tony Pollard was getting grabbed really early last year when there was the threat that Zeke Elliott was going to hold out. Now Madison's value is going to go down. He'll be easier to cuff. Cook, who's been a risky top 6, top 7 overall pick, according to a lot of crazy people out there, now becomes what? Locked and loaded top 4, top 5 again? I'm going to take it to you, the followers, and see what you think about that. Gase, here's some comments from you guys. If Gase just could act like a real coach and get along with his players. Where's the Seattle defensive rank now? You tell me. Where do you guys rank Seattle? Not only as a team, are they top 4 or 5 overall to you heading into 2020? Are they a top 4, top 5 ranked team overall? Like, I'm not just talking about in their division. Are they the number 4, number 5? Like, are they going to the Super Bowl? Like, this is that kind of team already. Adding Adams to the mix makes me think that they're going to be a favorite. They're going to be a top 5 Vegas favorite. That's my opinion. What's up, Saklan? Hey, Raj in here. Is Raj in here? Let me see if Raj wants to dial in. Let me message the man. Let me message the man and see if he wants to dial in and talk about this Adams thing. Let's see. Where are you, Dr. Raj? I'm live on YouTube. Dial in. Let me open up Skype. See if Dr. Raj dials up and talks about. I know he's going to want to talk about this this thing here. Open up Skype. See if Dr. Raj dials in. Okay, so Dalvin Cook. I would like to know where you guys are drafting Dalvin Cook now. Is he back into your top 4, top 5? Happy for Seattle. Dislike it as a Rams fan. Rob, you've got more to worry about than that. Honestly, how do you feel about that running back situation? I'd like to know that, Rob. Smitty, how are you? Have you been? Love this trade for Seattle. It's a great trade for Seattle. It's not a horrible trade for the Jets, who I think aren't going to win anyway. Kind of surprised that I feel like two ways about it. I feel like it's a decent move for both sides. I mean, the Jets are not going to win. Now, if they could just trade away Lev Bell, give Lev Bell some value outside of New York, I think Lev Bell still has top 5 to 10 potential for one more year, but we won't know that if he stays in New York. We just won't see it. Cook is number 6 running back, says Avery. Avery, that's before this news. You've got to have Cook in the top 5, don't you? Hit that like button, people. Hit the thumbs up on the way in. 30 to 50 of you inside the room, and I need to have that number match. Let's go 33 to 33. So please punch the thumbs up. It helps the show. It helps YouTube deliver this content to more people right here, right now. Hopefully Dr. Raj dials in and we can talk about this Jamal Adams situation. But wow, what 2 big pieces of news sitting right in front of your face right now. Dalvin Cook will report. We kind of knew it was going to happen, but now we know. And Jamal Adams is now a Seahawk. First round pick in 2021, third round pick in 2021, and a first round pick in 2022. According to this report here, it's tough to trade a star player, but the Jets are at least setting themselves up for the future with the draft assets. I agree with that write-up. New York is not a team that can win now. They're just not. Like, if you're a New York Jets fan, I'm sorry, but you're going to have a long, long season, and you'd be very, very smart to get rid of Lev Bell to a team that is a contender mid-season. No one's probably going to take Lev Bell now with his contract and everything that's going to go along with that, but I think by mid-season there could be a suitor willing to take on Lev Bell, and the Jets better act on that, and that could improve the value of Lev Bell tremendously. Lev Bell is a PPR monster. He's a top 10 to 12 yards after catch player. I think he'll deliver very good stats in 2020 from the PPR side of the game, but he's going to lack in his rushing yards, rushing attempts, and rushing touchdowns. If he was to go somewhere else, let's say Tampa Bay, for example, he would thrive. He would be an instant first-round pick. He'd be an instant top 5 to top 7 running back. It all matters where he lands. If he wastes away his last year in New York, we won't know how much talent he still had left in the tank. This is a good point, Steven. It doesn't matter what picks the Jets get if they don't draft the right players. That's freaking poetic. Wipe your feet, hit the thumbs up. 12 thumbs up, 33 to 50 people in the room at all times. Let's get that number up and let YouTube know that this is the place to be right now. Mike might still go Kamara over Cook at this point. I don't blame you on that. I still got Kamara ahead of him, so I got Cook 5. So when I said you should have him, you had him number 6, and I'm like, he should be top 5. There's one spot different between you and I. I've got Barkley at 1. I think Barkley's going to have the better year. I still like McCaffrey 2. Not disrespecting McCaffrey at all. Elliott 3, Kamara 4, Cook 5. I still have Kamara number 4. I still have Kamara 4. I still have Zeke at number 3. But I think Cook is locked in at number 5 for me. Absolutely locked in. Look at my last comment, Smitty. Let me try and find it. Dried Ocean. Hold on. And then Siklan said your last comment. Let me pull both these comments on screen. It's a great move for Seattle. Their picks are usually in the 25 plus, and they usually trade out of the first anyway, says Dried Ocean. And Siklan says Seattle defense becomes top 5. Adam Gase should not be in the NFL at all. He is so trash. The only thing he should be coaching is Pee Wee Little League, says Siklan. Siklan, you're not wrong. Mixon over Cook, says Noah. Hold on, where's my take a lap button?
Take a lap, take a lap, take a lap, take a lap.
Let's make this bigger. Let's make this bigger and put it on record for Noah. And then hit that button one more time.
Take a lap.
There you go, Noah.
Take a lap,
Mixon over Cook. Should be ashamed of yourself, Noah. Ashamed of yourself on that one. Unless you were reading someone else's comment. And I just... Oh, Avery's. Sorry, Noah. He was laughing. Let me redo this. Can we rewind? Sorry, Noah. Noah was responding to Avery. Okay, here we go. Let's redo this. Noah, I agree. Avery, this is for you.
Take a lap, take a lap, take a lap.
Sorry, Noah.
Take a lap.
Okay. Noah's just laughing at him. Noah's going to get upset now. Smitty, I was making fun of Mixon over Cook. Noah, it's fine. I appreciate you, Noah. My bad. This man is saying Mixon over Cook. Gotcha. I gotcha. We're good now. Sorry, Avery. Avery, and no disrespect to you. Avery, we all play this game for a reason. We don't know what's going to happen. We're all in the prediction game when we're playing fantasy football. So you do you. If you really love Mixon over Cook, you're still going to get a take a lap button from me, but you're still going to have my respect in the morning. So you do you, Avery. Don't let anybody, including myself, stray you off course from what you believe in the path you want to take in 2020. Smitty BMFP says hello. I don't know what you're talking about, Hazel. Maybe you could clarify that for me. Smitty, who do you think will win the NFC? You know what? That's a tough one. Let's break this down. Let me give you my predictions. I haven't done this yet. I get asked this question constantly, and I always put it off and tell people, let me do a show on it. Let me break it down in more detail. But I'm doing it, and I'm doing it live. We're doing it live. San Francisco will not win. Oh, God, this is tough. Earmuffs to my Niner people. I have a lot of Niner fans. Dr. Raj, I hope you're not watching. The Niners will not win the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks will win the NFC West. Don't hate me. The Green Bay Packers will destroy the NFC North. There you go. We're going to keep moving our way down. NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys are going to not only beat the Philadelphia Eagles anytime they play, the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East over the football Giants and the Washington football team and the Eagles. I firmly believe that the Saints and the Bucks is going to be a massively even-Steven fight all year long between who's going to be the NFC South leader, and both these teams are going to make the playoffs. It's going to be the Saints and the Bucks neck and neck all year. I don't think Carolina is going to win more than 8 games under Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Falcons aren't going to be as good as people expect with Todd Gurley at running back and Matt Ryan being inconsistent, in my opinion. I think that the Saints and the Bucks will be the teams to beat in the NFC South, and they're both going to the playoffs. And I'll give you my Super Bowl prediction at the end. AFC North. Baltimore. Baltimore's going to win 13 games, and it's not going to be close. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay, Dr. Raj is calling. He's probably not going to be super happy about what I just said. I don't know if he saw me. Dr. Raj
What's up, man?
The house.
Bro, this is crazy news today. Did you hear?
Yeah, let me. I'm reporting on it now. I'm trying to get you on a split screen. Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna go live real quick for a little bit and talk about this trade, but
yeah, I'm trying to get you on a split screen, and for whatever reason, it's not. Hold on. There we are. You were just tiny in the corner.
That's it. What's up? What's up, my man? What's up, lad?
What's up, man? So you're not gonna like this, man. Get your earmuffs on.
Okay. What's up?
I don't know if you already heard me. Can you guys hear Dr. Raj? Okay. I think Seattle Seahawks are going to win the NFC West.
Wait, what? Say that. Hold up. I think what?
It's not. You got to admit it's not crazy.
Wait, what? Say that again.
You got to admit it's not crazy.
Well, I didn't hear what you said. My AirPods cut off when you said Seattle, and then it's not crazy.
I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to win.
What? Say it again.
Just kidding. Seattle Seahawks are going to win the NFC West. What do you think of that?
What? Oh my God! You fucking rock, Smitty. They got one guy. Just because they got Jamal Adams doesn't mean anything. Listen to this. We still got Kittle up in the middle. We got Deebo Samuel, Jalen Hurts, Trent Taylor. We got Raheem Mostert, Jimmy Garoppolo. We still got that defense. Come on, man. We went to the Super Bowl, and you think they're going to take the division like that? Ain't happening. No way. They traded up a mortgage for that, man. They gave up a whole hell of a lot. 2 first-round picks, 3rd round, and a pretty good quarterback.
That doesn't affect 2020, though.
Oh, my God.
They were
crazy.
all,
you wild, bro.
They were already a team that I wanted to push into the top 4 or 5 overall for 2020.
I can't believe you just said that. You know what, man?
That ain't that crazy, Dr. Raj. Come on now.
That's so crazy. How are the Seahawks going to? They're not going to win this division. They got Jamal Adams. I don't want to.
They're 11-5. They were 11-5 last year. Let's not talk. Let's not act like this is crazy talk.
Niners are 13-3. Come on, man, you crazy? We went to the Super Bowl. We coming for blood. That's just like I'm going to add you to the list of haters and disrespecting us. So when we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to pull this tape up, and then you're going to be like,
pull it up.
Oh, remember? You're going to say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the receipt on your ass, and then when we win, I'm going to post this video. And hold on. And Smitty said, I think that the Seattle Seahawks win the NFC West, and I'm going to keep the receipt on you. But anyways,
I got it right here
crazy.
on YouTube.
I know. It's not crazy like you said, but it's crazy. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I think it's emotionally crazy for you, but I think it's logical. Either team beating the other out is logical.
I mean, it is what it is. I knew we weren't going to get Adam. Remember, I kept saying, I said, everybody's thinking we're getting Jamal Adams. It's not going to happen. People hyping it up. And there he is on the Seattle. Of course the Seahawks get him. That's a typical move by the Seahawks. And the other day, I don't know if you saw his story post. I put it on my post. I did a swipe. So I posted the news of Jamal Adams going to the Seahawks. And then on the last swipe of it, there's a picture of him actually film studying Jimmy G against the Seahawks. So he kind of hinted towards it over the week. On his IG story, he had this video. It was like a cryptic image. It was like film study, and it was a picture of Jimmy G in the huddle, and then you got Bobby Wagner there. So he was really studying film on Jimmy G. It was on the Seattle game specifically. I was like, oh man, that's kind of crazy. So now all of the kind of pieces start to fit together. But they gave up a lot, man. They gave up a lot to get him.
They did. I think it was a good move for the Jets because they're not going to win now.
It was.
The Jets had to make a move. They did a good job getting 2 first-round picks, one 2021 and one 2022. But I love the
Big
move for Seattle, man. I think it's a difference maker for them. They're already in my top 5, 6 overall teams in the entire NFL for 2020. I was just breaking down. Okay, so let's do this real quick. If you got a second before you go live. Obviously, we're going to disagree on this NFC West call, but you're going to say the Niners win. I'm going to say Seattle wins. What about the NFC North? Green Bay is my projected winner by a lot. I don't think Minnesota's going to hang. I don't think the Bears are going to put it all together. And Detroit's dependent on Stafford too much to think they're going to go from 3-12 to like 12 wins.
Don't sleep on Detroit. But I think Minnesota wins that division. Green Bay Packers are overrated to me.
Okay.
Take that.
Hey, man.
Take that. Hot take, baby.
This is why we play the game.
Kirk Cousins. You like that?
NFC East. I've got Dallas beating out the Eagles not badly. I think the Eagles are very, very dependent on Wentz, and I'm not trusting Wentz at all. I'm not trusting Wentz to stay healthy.
I'm on the same board. I got the Cowboys winning that. Don't sleep on the Giants. Danny Dimes, baby. Year 2 is going to be nice.
What about the football team?
The Washington football, they can't even figure out what the football team their name is. So
oh, my God. We didn't talk about that.
They don't even have a real football team, man. They're going to be last in that division. But, hey, they got a nice young...
The NFL.com still, they have everything changed over to Washington football team, but they can't figure out what to do when they're putting team names on the screen. They still have the Redskins. They don't know how to put Giants versus the football team. No one does. Everyone's confused.
Weird. You know, it's Giants versus. They should just put Washington.
But that's going to be off kilter too. You know, you can't be putting Giants, Seahawks, Cardinals, Washington.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's their problem. They need to figure out a team name.
NFC South. Saints, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers. I'm going to say that the Bucks and Saints are going to be neck and neck all year. Both are going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins the division, though, NFC South?
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was drinking the Haterade, and I was thinking the Bucks were going to go 8-8, and Saints are going to win that division. But I'm kind of thinking different now. I think the Bucks will win that division very closely. I think they're going to be like 10-6, and I think that the Saints will also be like a 10-6. But I think the Buccaneers will have like a tiebreaker, maybe 11-5. Maybe 11-5. Maybe, you know what? Bucks 11-5, Saints 10-6. I think the Bucks win that division.
Neck and neck, man. It's gonna be neck and neck all year.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close, buddy.
Probably the toughest, I think. Head to head.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close, my man.
Ravens, I think, win the AFC North.
God. The Ravens have got the easiest schedule in the NFL. They could probably take a dump on half of these teams without even trying. Lamar Jackson doesn't even need to play some of these games.
I know. That scares me. That scares me that you're going to draft him in fantasy and he's going to sit out quarters.
I know. I'm going to tell you this, though. I think the Ravens can actually make it a pretty deep run, maybe the Super Bowl, because their schedule's so easy. So it either goes either way.
Well, KC.
Either they're going to be rested for when the playoffs comes and they can go all out, or they won't be tested enough and then they're going to get smashed in the playoffs. So we'll see how it goes, but
I think KC's got just as easy a path in their division. I mean, AFC West, Broncos aren't going to put it all together, I don't think.
Yeah, but they got a talented team. They're going to give them fits. That defense is still good. The Raiders are a scrappy team. They're a good young team, man. I'm not going to count them out. And then you got the Chargers, who they could play with anybody. They just don't know how to put it together at the end of the game. I think that division's still pretty tough. I think they're going to have a hard road.
I think no one in that division but the Chiefs will be – I think Chiefs will have 12 or 13 wins. I think no one in that division will be at 10 wins. I think it'll be all under 8, 9 wins max. AFC East is a blender, to say the least. Buffalo Bills are the only team that I think have a shot at even winning the AFC West. Patriots, Cam, what do you think of Cam? You think Cam's going to...
What do I think about Cam?
You think Cam's going to be able to deliver 16 games?
I think he can. I think he can. You like that? I think he can.
I think he can.
I think this is going to be a nice season for him. It's going to be a bounce back year. Belichick. You got a great coach and
maybe I'm too hard on him.
I think he's going to do good this season. He's got talent.
I like Cam.
And I'm usually not a Cam supporter, but honestly, I could see Cam doing pretty damn good in
Cam doing Cam things. I think
He got nothing. He's got nothing to lose this season.
Yeah.
He's got literally nothing to lose and everything to gain. All he
I
has to do is ball out, tear it up, prove himself, and then it's over from
I
there.
just don't know if I love the weapons as much as some people do. Like I love N'Keal Harry, but
Yeah,
I just don't. I don't
Harry.
know.
But you know what? It doesn't matter because Belichick, he never really had like big time names on it. He makes them
Yeah.
because of the way that the offense runs. Like it's just they know how to run the system. They play football. They get open. They run the plays, and then they score. That's all that matters. He
Bills
has
win
guys
it-
that buy into the system.
But Bills win the division though, right? Or they win the AFC
Yeah,
AFC
I
East.
think the Bills are going to win it, but it's not going to be a
Not their
landslide
division,
because before Cam came there, I think the Bills were going to just trounce that division. But I think it's going to be a little bit tougher.
AFC South, Titans or Texans. I don't think you think the Colts or the Jags are gonna win that.
Well, don't sleep
South.
on the Jags, my friend. They got a good
Yeah?
defense. Don't sleep on those boys. Chark, you got Minshew
I like Chark.
Mania.
Chark's gonna go nuts.
We'll see. I think that team is going to be a sleeper team in that division. Tennessee, though, probably is the favorite to win that division. You got Tannehill, who needs to prove himself after stealing the comeback player of the year from Jimmy G last year. You got Derrick Henry, who just signed a bag. You got my boy A.J. Brown. They got a good young team. I think they have talent on that defense, too. Unheralded,
I'm gonna
players
say
on that team.
I'm gonna
But
say
I
Houston.
think the Titans win.
I think the Houston Texans have the only double-digit win season out of the AFC South. Okay, so
Tennessee's winning that division.
let's narrow it.
Houston's going to take it. This is why I don't say Houston. Their coach is horrible.
Yeah.
And they lost DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, it does piss me off that they're letting O'Brien completely ruin this team. Okay, so if you've got to pick two teams from each side of this thing, two AFC teams, two NFC teams, pick two from each.
For like NFC, AFC championship?
Yeah, top four teams.
All right.
Then we'll narrow it down from there.
Baltimore, Kansas City.
I agree.
I guess so. And then San Francisco and Tampa Bay.
Okay. And who do you have facing who in the Super Bowl, Dr. Raj? We know who you have winning it.
It's the legendary revenge tour. We got a rematch of last season. We're going to have the Niners taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Rematch. It's going to be, I kind of could see the Ravens slide in there, but it's going to be a rematch. Niners are going to get revenge. Patrick Mahomes is going to lose to Jimmy G in round 2. Book it, Dado.
I'm going to say Chiefs and Ravens are the clear AFC contenders, and so I'm going to say KC makes it to the Super Bowl again.
Okay,
and then on your side of the bracket, Dr. Raj, I'm going to say that it's going to be the Niners or Seahawks against the.
You got to pick. You just told me pick two. You can't do
the Bucks or the Saints. I know. I'm not going to make you happy here, and if you think I'm crazy to say this on one of your lives, I'm not going to do it. But Seahawks, I think the Seahawks and the Bucks are the top.
Oh my God, Smitty, I'm so sick and tired of you right now. Oh my God.
Dr. Raj, I can't always be on team.
I'm wearing a
49ers
t-shirt. Get out of here.
I don't know that Seattle's going to beat Tampa or New Orleans, though. I think one of Tampa or New Orleans are going to actually make it to the Super Bowl and face off against the
Tampa
Chiefs.
Bay. Come on, man. You're smoking the Tom Brady Kool-Aid. It's going to be Niners.
You were just drinking it a second ago.
I know, but he's going to end when he meets the Jimmy G, and Jimmy G's going to end it, and he's going to finally get the monkey off. You remember when Steve Young got the monkey off his back in 1994? That's what's going to happen this season. Finally, it's going to be a legendary moment. Jimmy G has just got the monkey off his back. Oh, my God. The crowd goes wild.
Well,
oh, my God. It's going to be like that. And then my man, Kill over the middle, is going to be celebrating, drinking beers, guzzling it down. It's going to be amazing time. That's if the season happens. And let's talk about that real quick. Of having a season have kind of went up a little bit over the last few days because what I've realized, what I've kind of taken away from all this news over the last couple of days, is the NFL is going to fight tooth and nail to make this season happen regardless. If you got COVID, they don't care. If you got swine flu, they don't care. If you got banana flu, they don't care. They're going to try to make this season regardless of what you have. It does not matter.
Jer-
They're going to try to push on. So my percentage is about 40%. That's pretty good.
Yeah, hey man, you're getting back to where I've been sitting at 51, Dr.
I
Raj.
know. You've been sitting. I say 40%. That's a big increase. I'm telling you, man. This NFL right now, the way I'm looking at it, they're making a strong push, my man.
I like Sony's Arizona's a dark horse. I love the Cardinals. I'm in Arizona. They're my team. I think they definitely could give the Niners a run for their money. At least one of the two games. And Dr. Raj, you can't tell me I'm crazy there because during your prediction show early on in the year, you had the Cardinals winning one game and the Niners winning another.
I know.
So I just want to make sure before you rip into me. I think the Cardinals win the second of the two, like you had mentioned when you did that. I don't know if you changed your mind on that. That's fine if you have. But
I mean, I might, but we'll see how it goes. You know, when it's before game day and I'm hyping up the faithful, I'm going to tell you they're going to win. Niners going to win. But in the back of my mind, I might not think it. Or in the back of my mind, I might say, if we lose this game, I wouldn't be surprised. But I can't sit here and tell you Niners are going to go 16-0, even though I know we're going to win the Super Bowl, but we're not going to go 16-0. Got to lose a few games. But that Jamal Adams trade was big, man.
Huge.
That's big, dude. That's big. I mean, to be real, though, I know you came and you got me mad at the beginning and you told me all your bad news. That's a big move, man. That defense, they're getting back to being the Legion of Boom, you know. And that, you know, as much as I can't stand the Seahawks, as much as I hate them over the years, you got to respect what Pete Carroll did to that team. He made them just a defensive powerhouse. And that defense carried them a few years ago when you had Richard Sherman and, you know, you had Cam Chance and all those guys out there. I mean, just those nasty, big-time hitters. I mean, that's what they're kind of reestablishing back in Seattle. So it's going to be a little scary. Pete Carroll's a good defensive guy. And now you got you got the best safety in the NFL.
Yeah.
Headed to Seattle with Pete Carroll, who's arguably one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. That's scary, man. That is definitely scary. I mean, I know I could sit here and say, oh, yeah, Niners got Kittle and this and that. Oh, that's a big move for Seattle, man.
Yeah, on top of that, Dr. Raj, I think the thing that a lot of people, what I'm factoring in is a big reason why Seattle is going to take a huge step forward, not just this move, but this move in conjunction with how good DK Metcalf is going to be in 2020. I think DK Metcalf is going to be
good, man. He's going to be good.
I think he's going to be.
Who's going to be better? You know who's going to be better? Debo! He's going to be better than him. But, you know, DK Metcalf can have a huge season.
Is Debo going to – I know there's a lot of talk. We talked about this before. A lot of people running their mouth like King, other reporters talking like he might be back till late October. What are you thinking? You've talked to Debo yourself. What do you think?
He says he's ahead of schedule. He says his foot's feeling good, but it all really depends on when he's able to put weight on it, how he feels. So he's got, when was the injury? About 3 weeks ago. He's got 3 more weeks until he can weight bear. So we're going to find out in about 3 weeks how good that foot is. Because if he can start cutting and start running and jogging and stuff like that, game over, man. He's such a violent runner. That's the thing. And that's kind of what Peter King was saying is, and I think people looked at it around. It was like a prediction. He didn't say that's exactly the timeline. He says based on the way his style is, the way he plays, he predicts him to take a little longer. And I could kind of actually, it made sense to me the way he plays. You know what I mean? Like he's a physical runner, or he's a violent runner. He makes a lot of cuts. In order to be able to do that and be 100% and be stable when you make those movements, yeah, that was a realistic timeline that he said. But Debo said, you know, he's ahead of time. You know, he's ahead of the time frame, or he's ahead of the schedule, and he knows his body. And what Debo was saying is, you can't put a time frame on God's plan, and he knows his body more than anybody else. And what he told me is he feels even better than the last time he had this injury. So in his mind, he feels like he's going to be back in a shorter amount of time. So that's kind of where it stands there. As far as when he's going to be back, it really depends on how he feels in a couple weeks. So we'll see.
All right, man. Well, get to your live stuff. You got to get on that.
Man.
But I'm glad you're in the 40% range for a season happening. Yeah, Jamal Adams, man, big move. Don't hate on me too much, Dr. Raj. I'm just telling you, I feel like the Seahawks are definitely going to be a threat. But anything can happen, bro.
All right, my man. That was you triggered me today. That's all I'm gonna say, my man.
You know they're a threat. You know it.
No, man.
Whether you think it'll end up happening or not, that Seattle will win the division or not, you know it's a threat. You know it's a possibility. Now, will the 49ers come out on top? That's for you to decide. That's your show.
I mean, like I said, when I was starting to be real with you, like, of course they're a threat. Of course the Seahawks.
All right.
They got a great defense.
We're
they got
back.
Pete Carroll, but they don't have a George Kittle.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Raj.
All right, my man.
I'm glad you jumped on a Saturday show again. It's been a while.
Yeah,
so
it's been a minute. But I was like, you know what? I'm a little hyped up. I got to get this out of my chest. I knew you were going to say something dumb. And I was like, you know what? I have a feeling Smitty's going to tell me something about the Seahawks. Let's go on there. And, of course, you ruffled my feathers. But, hey, it is what it is. That's what we do.
I ruffled it. I ruffled your Kool-Aid.
You ruffled the Kool-Aid, but you know what? We need to finally sit down and get this podcast hatched out, man.
Yeah, let's do it on the weekly. I do one on Fridays. It'd be easy to do another one like back to back. So if we could figure out like a Friday time, we could crank it out every Friday.
We got to work out a time just because I'm so busy usually. So
okay, let's do it, man. Later.
All right, man. Have a good weekend, man. Stay safe. Wear the mask. Don't go out in public and stay 6 feet away.
I gotta go get food, but that's it.
All right, yeah, I did. I had to go to the grocery today.
All right, Dr. Raj.
All right, my man.
All right, people. So that was the man, the myth, the legend. Jamal Adams is a Seahawk. Hey, this is all the Jets' fault for hiring Gase. Seattle gave up too much. They ain't winning anyway, says Double A. Dr. Raj has to be hating Jamal. I really thought the Niners were going to get Adams, says Hernandez. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I wanted to break that news for you and talk about both of these things. Let me put them both up on the screen again for you. Where's my Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook graphic. Dalvin Cook will report to camp on time. Let me move this stuff around. Where can I put this? Put that right there. Dalvin Cook, according to Mike Zimmer, has been told by Cook himself that Cook will report to training camp on time. Great news. Put Dalvin Cook back in your top 5 running backs right now. And Jamal Adams is now a Seahawk, making this team, I think, the team to beat in their conference, but definitely a top 4, top 5 team in the division. I'm excited about Adams. I'm excited about the Seahawks. I'm specifically excited about DK Metcalf and what he's going to do for the Seahawks team in 2020. I think DK is going to drop quietly top 10 to 12 wide receiver numbers all year long and have a cup of coffee in the top 5 to 7 throughout the year and ultimately finish in the 10 to 12 range. That's how good DK Metcalf's going to be in 2020. I think he overtakes Lockett for sure and becomes the top pass catcher in Seattle in 2020. Watch out for DK. DK might just be a top 25 overall pick in 2021 fantasy football drafts. You heard it here. Hit that thumbs up on the way out. At least get the 26, 27 thumbs up on your way out the door, please. And don't leave yet. I've got another announcement. If you thought I was done with my live shows today, you would be wrong. Because in about 3 hours, I'm going live again here on YouTube to partake in an expert league draft. That's right, I will be drafting from the 7 spot. I traded the 12 spot in a super flex league for the 7 spot just now. We swapped overall draft slots. We can't trade individual picks. I took the 7 spot. I had the 12. I'm drafting from the 7 in a super flex league. Maybe I get Mahomes. Maybe I get Lamar. Maybe I go Jacobs, something like that. I don't know. We'll find out, but it all kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 5 p.m. Pacific time, and that's live here right on Smitty1.com, also known as youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. So come back, turn on notifications, be a part of the notification squad. I want a Noti squad hashtag whenever you show up in one of my lives and you're there at the beginning, you can put Noti or Notification Squad, and let's start trending that so people know to turn on notifications. People know who are the Notification Squad people. Double A is always a Noti Squad. Elgin seems to be, a lot of you are. So turn on your notifications on YouTube. But tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, so about 3 hours from now. 3 hours from now, 8 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be drafting live in a real expert draft, the most notable expert league on Instagram. I was lucky and fortunate enough to get in it this year, and I'm going to drop some goodness on you at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So come back for that later. Appreciate you. Breaking news, Dalvin Cook will report Jamal Adams is now a Seahawk. Get some.